Hey everybody, welcome to the Book Nook. Today we're going to talk about another book of the Witcher series. This is The Blood of Elves by Andrzej Sapkowski. This one I liked so much better than the prior one with all the boob groping and the action pants and, action pants you say? That's where you wear your action pants because it was all action and boob groping. This book I read as a buddy read with David's book reviews, and we've been reading through the series. So far, the first book I liked, the second one I thought was blah, and then this one I really liked again. And then the first two were all like kind of short stories that jumped around, were all kind of like haphazardly all over the place. And it was jumping timelines too, so it was really hard to like get a grasp on what was going on. So this one is the first one we've read that's actually delving into the story. Oh my goodness, imagine it. You get into like the political aspects of what's going on, like who wants to do what, and all these kingdoms and these noble people, they're all basically out for themselves. It also gets into more of the story of Geralt and Ciri, and Ciri's upbringing and her training as she goes towards becoming a witcher, and also more witchy things, because they've found that every once in a while she goes into like these trances where she's channeling this weird voice, and she has these weird prophetic dreams. So Geralt calls in a couple sorceresses to like come and train her and see what they think and this, that, and the other. So Ciri starts on this interesting path of becoming a witcher, but yet also receiving sorcerer training, gearing up and becoming more magical and learning spells and this, that, and the other. And so this story focuses more on the meat and potatoes, one might say, of the whole Witcher series. The series revolving around Geralt and Ciri. Reading it as more of a story, we're not being like tugged all over the place and you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting into this, but okay, we're over here now, 30 years earlier. Okay, well, that throws me off track. Blood of Elves is a much better read in this series. I thought it was interesting. Even though like some of the political stuff was a little boring, it was also interesting. And it was also interesting to see which of the kingdoms they like left out that they weren't bringing into some of their stuff. And then throughout the book too, you have this other guy, this bad sorcerer, Rince, I don't know how to say his name. Rince. He's a butthole. And he's basically trying to track down Ciri, and for who, though? That is the question. You'll find out if you read the book. But he's trying to track her down. The political people are trying to decide if she exists. There's rumors that she exists, and people don't really know if she survived and this, that, and the other. So that's what they're trying to figure out, and then they're trying to figure out what to do with her, because there's this whole prophecy about how she's going to tear the world apart or something like that. It is very interesting. So the next book I am very excited to get into. It won't be, though, this month because I got so much going on this month. I got a butt ton of books to read, though. A butt ton. Heavy in the butt. No. Many books handle them. And so now we'll get a little bit of word from David's book reviews on his thoughts on The Blood of Elves.
Hey guys, my name is David. Reading The Blood of Elves was a completely different experience than reading the first two books, as they were mostly just short, one-off stories that you read in maybe 1 or 2 days and then you went on to the next one, which was completely different. But this was just one continuous linear storyline, and it was kind of weird to actually read it like that, to experience the author expressing himself and what characters were going through, that in the previous two books were only explained in just 1 or 2 paragraphs, took several pages to explain. But we did get a lot of backstory and more character development with our main characters, and also we got introduced to some other characters that were really interesting. This really dived into the whole world of The Witcher and how the different species of this world coexist and put up with each other. And the whole thing about destiny for Ciri in this whole story is at the forefront. Ciri is constantly being tormented, and she suffers from nightmares about when her kingdom Sintra was destroyed by a Nilfgaard, and it's just always at the back of her mind, and I think that that's what gives her strength as well. So even though I'm currently listening to this story again on audio just to make sure the story sinks in, I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to read the next book. So with all that out of the way, let's just go straight back to Sin now.
So if you're curious to see my thoughts, if you haven't seen the other video about my thoughts on the boob groping in the last Witcher book that I read, that will be coming up somewhere, and we'll put that video right here in the end screen. So thank you everyone so much for joining me in the Book Nook today. If you had fun hanging out, boop that like button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish stuff and weird things. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.